Welcome. The United Kingdom, a place often perceived as a beacon of order and civility, has, like any other nation, experienced its share of darkness. Throughout its history, certain criminal acts have cut deep, leaving an indelible mark on the national psyche. These are not just stories of transgression, but events that have sparked outrage, ignited debates, and forced society to confront uncomfortable truths. Over the next few chapters, we will journey into the heart of 5 such cases, meticulously dissecting the details that shocked a nation and continue to resonate to this very day. Prepare yourself, for some of these accounts are deeply unsettling, a stark reminder of the capacity for human cruelty that exists even in the most seemingly tranquil of societies. The year is 2021. The bustling metropolis of London, a city that pulsates with life, both vibrant and unforgiving. It was here, amidst the urban sprawl, that 33-year-old Sarah Everard, a marketing executive, was making her way home on a seemingly ordinary evening. Unbeknownst to her, this routine journey would tragically be her last. As Sarah navigated the well-lit streets, a sense of unease crept in. She was being followed. The man, unknown to her, was a predator lurking in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Days turned into agonizing weeks as Sarah Everard's disappearance gripped the nation. Hope dwindled with each passing hour, replaced by a growing sense of dread. The police, working tirelessly, finally uncovered the unthinkable. Sarah's life had been brutally cut short. The perpetrator, a serving Metropolitan Police officer named Wayne Couzens, had abused his position of authority in the most heinous way imaginable. A wave of grief, anger, and disbelief washed over the country. How could someone entrusted to protect the public commit such a monstrous act? The very foundations of trust in law enforcement were shaken to their core. The trial of Wayne Couzens was swift and decisive. Found guilty, he was sentenced to a whole life order, a rare and severe punishment reserved for the most depraved criminals. Yet even with the perpetrator behind bars, a sense of unease lingered. Sarah Everard's murder had exposed a dark undercurrent in society, highlighting the ever-present dangers women face on a daily basis. In the aftermath of this tragedy, calls for systemic change reverberated throughout the UK. There were demands for greater accountability within the police force and a renewed focus on addressing violence against women. Our journey takes us back to 1993, to a time when racial tensions simmered beneath the surface of British society. It was against this backdrop of prejudice and intolerance that the tragic fate of Stephen Lawrence unfolded. Stephen, a black teenager with dreams of becoming an architect, was making his way home with a friend in southeast London. Their path crossed with a group of white youths, fueled by hatred and bigotry. Without provocation, the gang launched a vicious and unprovoked attack on Stephen and his friend. The assault was swift and brutal, leaving Stephen fatally wounded. He would tragically die later that night from his injuries. The initial police investigation into Stephen Lawrence's murder was, to put it bluntly, a failure. Critical evidence was mishandled, and opportunities to apprehend the perpetrators were missed. It became painfully clear that the police's approach to the case was marred by incompetence and, more disturbingly, institutional racism. The Lawrence family, already grappling with unimaginable grief, found themselves let down by the very system that was supposed to protect them. The family's unwavering determination to seek justice for Stephen ignited a public outcry. The failings of the police investigation were thrust into the national spotlight, forcing a long overdue conversation about race and inequality in Britain. The public pressure on the authorities to address the injustices in Stephen's case culminated in a landmark public inquiry in 1998. Led by Sir William Macpherson, the inquiry's findings sent shockwaves through the country. The Macpherson report delivered a scathing indictment of the Metropolitan Police, concluding that the force was institutionally racist. The report's recommendations led to significant changes in UK policing, including new legislation and initiatives aimed at tackling racial prejudice. The fight for justice for Stephen Lawrence spanned nearly 2 decades. It was not until 2012 that 2 of his killers, Gary Dobson and David Norris, were finally convicted of his murder. The year is 1963. Britain, still recovering from the war, is on the cusp of a cultural revolution. Yet, in the heart of the English countryside, a plan is brewing, a plot as meticulous and daring as any military operation. This is not a story of conquest or territory, but of sheer audacious ambition, a brazen attempt to relieve the Royal Mail of its precious cargo. Our stage is set not on a battlefield, but on the iron arteries that crisscross the nation, the railway lines. Here, under the veil of night, a gang of 15 men, their faces hidden, their motives shrouded in secrecy, prepare to execute a heist of extraordinary proportions. Their target, a high-value package train laden with a king's ransom in used banknotes, making its way from Glasgow to London. The sheer scale of their ambition is staggering, their plan a testament to both meticulous planning and unwavering audacity. What unfolds next will not only shake the foundations of British society, but will also etch its place in the annals of criminal history as the audacious Great Train Robbery, a tale of cunning, determination, and a prize worth millions. Section 2. The heist unfolds. Under the cover of darkness, the gang springs into action. Their meticulously crafted plan swings into motion with almost military precision. They tamper with the track signals, forcing the train to halt at a predetermined location, a desolate stretch of track near the village of Cheddington. Their faces concealed by masks, they overpower the train driver and force him to move the high-value carriage to a nearby bridge. Here, with the precision of seasoned professionals, they unload their quarry. Sacks upon sacks filled with used banknotes, a veritable mountain of wealth. The scene, illuminated by flickering gaslight, must have been surreal. The silence of the night punctuated by the clatter of sacks and the muffled commands of the robbers. Within an hour, their work is done. They vanish back into the night, leaving behind the empty train and a nation about to wake up to an unbelievable crime. News of the robbery spreads like wildfire, sending shockwaves through the nation. The audacity of the crime, the sheer amount stolen, captures the public imagination. The police launch a nationwide manhunt determined to bring the perpetrators to justice. Section 3. The aftermath. The investigation into the Great Train Robbery was to become one of the largest and most complex in British criminal history. Fingerprints left at the farmhouse hideout where the gang had holed up led to a series of arrests. The trial of the robbers captivated the nation. The public, both horrified and strangely thrilled by the audacity of the crime, followed every twist and turn. Most of the gang were apprehended and sentenced to lengthy prison terms. However, the legend of the Great Train Robbery continued long after the sentences were handed down. The robbery became a symbol of daring and rebellion, a romanticized image that persisted in popular culture. Yet beyond the romanticized tales, the Great Train Robbery serves as a stark reminder of the audacity and meticulous planning that can underpin even the most audacious crimes. It remains a cautionary tale, a testament to the enduring allure of ill-gotten gains and the long arm of the law. The Algarve, a sun-drenched paradise on the Portuguese coast, attracts families from across the globe, drawn to its golden beaches and azure waters. In the spring of 2007, one such family, the McCanns, arrived seeking respite and quality time together. Little did they know their holiday would transform into a living nightmare, forever etching their story into the annals of criminal history. Madeleine McCann, a bright and bubbly 3-year-old, was on holiday with her parents and younger twin siblings. On the evening of May 3rd, while their parents dined at a nearby restaurant, Madeleine vanished from their holiday apartment. The disappearance sent shockwaves across the world, gripping the public with a mixture of horror and disbelief. Despite an extensive search effort involving local authorities and international volunteers, Madeleine's whereabouts remained unknown. The mystery deepened as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, leaving a void filled with anguish and unanswered questions. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann sparked one of the largest missing person investigations in history. Authorities meticulously combed the area, interviewed countless individuals, and followed every lead, no matter how small. The case captivated the world, with media outlets providing constant updates and fueling public speculation. As the investigation stretched on, various theories emerged, some more plausible than others. The Portuguese police initially treated the case as an abduction, but their handling of the investigation drew criticism, particularly concerning their communication with the media and the McCanns themselves. Years later, the investigation took a significant turn when a German man, Christian Bruckner, was identified as a suspect. Bruckner, already in prison for other offences, had a history of sexual assault and burglary in the Algarve region. This development reignited hope for a resolution, but as of today the case remains open, a chilling reminder of the complexities of criminal investigations and the enduring power of hope. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann continues to resonate deeply with the public. It serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of children and the devastating impact such tragedies have on families. Despite the passage of time, Madeleine's image remains etched in our minds, a symbol of innocence lost. The McCanns have tirelessly campaigned for their daughter's safe return, their unwavering determination serving as an inspiration to many. Their story has prompted global conversations about child safety and the crucial role of public awareness in missing person cases. While the mystery of Madeleine's disappearance lingers, so too does the hope that one day the truth will be revealed. Until then, her story serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Ipswich, a bustling town on the east coast of England, is known for its maritime history and picturesque waterfront. But in the winter of 2006, a chilling series of murders plunged the town into a state of fear and uncertainty, forever altering its perception. Over a short period, the bodies of 5 women were discovered in various locations around Ipswich. All 5 victims, tragically, were involved in sex work, a profession often shrouded in stigma and vulnerability. The discovery of their bodies, discarded with a chilling disregard for human life, sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. As news of the murders spread, fear gripped the town. Women, particularly those involved in sex work, felt incredibly vulnerable, their sense of safety shattered by the realization that a predator was operating within their midst. The police faced immense pressure to apprehend the perpetrator, their investigation becoming a race against time to prevent further tragedy. The Ipswich murders bore the chilling hallmarks of a serial killer, a realization that sent a shiver down the spines of investigators and the public alike. The victims, all women engaged in sex work, were seemingly targeted due to their profession and the perceived vulnerability it entailed. The investigation, one of the largest in Suffolk police history, focused on identifying the perpetrator and understanding their motives. Forensic evidence, witness testimonies, and meticulous analysis of CCTV footage all played crucial roles in piecing together the events leading up to the murders. The investigation soon led to the arrest of Steve Wright, a local forklift truck driver. Wright, a seemingly unremarkable individual, was ultimately charged with the murders of all 5 women. His trial, held in 2008, captivated the nation, exposing the dark underbelly of Ipswich and the tragic consequences of societal indifference towards marginalized communities. The trial of Steve Wright revealed the horrifying extent of his crimes, exposing a callous disregard for human life. The evidence against him was overwhelming, leading to his conviction on all 5 counts of murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, ensuring that he would never again pose a threat to society. While the conviction brought a sense of justice, it did little to alleviate the grief and loss felt by the families of the victims. Their lives, tragically cut short, served as a stark reminder of the dangers faced by sex workers and the urgent need for greater protection and support for those engaged in this often misunderstood profession. The Ipswich murders prompted a national conversation about the safety of sex workers, highlighting the need for decriminalization and the provision of essential services to mitigate the risks they face. The legacy of these tragic events serves as a reminder of the importance of compassion, understanding, and a collective responsibility to protect the most vulnerable members of our society. From the sun-drenched beaches of Portugal to the quiet streets of Suffolk, these stories offer a glimpse into the darker side of human nature. They remind us that even in seemingly safe and familiar environments, tragedy can strike, leaving an indelible mark on individuals, families, and entire communities. Thank you for watching. If you found these stories intriguing, make sure to follow our channel for more. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on crime stories and other fascinating topics. See you next time.